When I was an 8-year-old girl, my copy of Tom Tierney's American Family of the Colonial Era paper doll book was both a prized possession and a source of deep vexation. Fresh from a family trip to Colonial Williamsburg, I adored the detailed, colorful illustrations of late 18th century fashion, especially the women's ornately trimmed, floor-sweeping gowns. I happily spent hours with a tiny pair of scissors, snipping around delicate locks of hair and ruffled hems. My frustration came from realizing that the doll's clothes were not interchangeable. Prudence could not wear Hannah's quilted dress because she was facing the wrong direction. Sarah and Prudence were the same height and both looking to the right, but they couldn't share clothes either. I hoped that the voluminous garments might conceal and transform the paper doll's chemise-clad form. But when I laid Prudence's elegant fuchsia gown over Sarah's body, the folding tabs refused to align, and part of her arm remained stubbornly visible outside the lace-edged sleeve. Decades later, I regard my initial solution with mild horror. Maybe I should just cut her arm off? I was willing to amputate the doll's limbs, to alter her body so that she could fit the inflexible contours of the garment. Eventually, I realized that it made far more sense to create new paper gowns for each doll than to mutilate the dolls to fit the gowns. It took me far longer to understand that the same could be said for my own body and the various stories of womanhood that, like paper doll dresses, I contorted myself to fit. Stories that shape us. Stories are the sticky threads of our imagination, pulling together seemingly unrelated experiences into something we can grab hold of. We tell stories to make sense of our world, to describe why things are the way they are. Some stories, we might use the fancy word meta-narratives, set out to explain everything. Are we just collections of atoms that exist only to collect and protect resources for our own survival? Are we part of a story of slow but inevitable progress? Or, as my faith teaches, are we participants in the greatest rescue story ever told, loved, pursued, and delivered by the God of the universe? Other stories are more narrowly focused. They are identity stories, narrating who we believe ourselves to be in the world. These stories shape us as people, molding us to respond in certain ways, to move our bodies according to a particular choreography, to say yes to some things and no to others. When my husband and I moved our young family from St. Louis to Chattanooga, we told each other, I guess we're outdoors people now. In St. Louis, we relished our more urban lifestyle. We could walk from our house to a train station and take public transportation to a Major League Baseball game. In Chattanooga, that option simply didn't exist. Yet we could walk from our house to a national park. Telling each other the story, we're outdoors people, prompted us to buy a trail guide and devote every Saturday to exploring the Cumberland Plateau. And because we hiked up creek beds and through gulches and along escarpments each weekend, we fell more and more in love with our new surroundings and more eager to spend time in them. Changing our story also changed us.